Hi everyone, this is my fourth video in a series of videos to explain the various rationales that have been provided for why our government is pursuing a tariff policy. As a reminder, the first rationale that was provided was that it's going to be a tax revenue stream that would eliminate income tax and also reduce the debt. The second rationale is that it's a policy to bring back American jobs. The third rationale was that it was simply a negotiating tactic, never really about implementing tariffs, but to get better deals on U.S. export tariffs. So this fourth rationale is a little bit out there, and it's that Trump wants to intentionally devalue the U.S. dollar to essentially make U.S. debt cheaper. In addition, it's an attempt to intentionally tank the U.S. economy so that would prompt the Fed to reduce interest rates and thereby make our U.S. debt cheaper to service. This theory likely stems from the fact that the U.S. government has about $9 trillion in debt that will either mature or need to be refinanced in 2025. So in isolation, it would be better to do that at a lower interest rate. But as with the other rationales, there are a few issues. The first is that tariffs are a tax and they will drive higher prices and drive inflation. So with high inflation, even if the economy starts to falter, the Fed faces a decision because if they start to lower those interest rates, it would only make inflation worse. So it really puts them in a wait and see mode and doesn't indicate that we're going to see interest rate reductions anytime soon. The other issues with this is if you throw the economy into recession, that means people are not going to be able to buy things. Consumption overall is going to be lower, and especially consumption of now higher cost import items. So there will be no significant amount of tax revenue generated by tariffs if people just can't afford to buy things. The second problem with this is that a recession always results in significant job loss and layoffs. So if the tariff strategy was about bringing back jobs, like rationale number 2, this number 4 is going to decimate labor markets. So it is exactly opposite of the goal of protecting or creating U.S. jobs. And finally, if the U.S. finds itself in a recession, that's just not a good place from a positioning standpoint. If you're trying to negotiate a new deal with a trading partner, you're actually in a position of weakness if you're in recession. So my 2 cents of using tariffs as a means to hurt the U.S. dollar, hurt the U.S. economy, simply to get the outcome of lower interest rates is just illogical. And it actually seems quite foolish. But let me know your thoughts. Is this fourth rationale better than 1, 2, or 3? I don't think so, but let me know your thoughts.